After 2 years of social distancing and compliance to COVID-19 protocols, the Extension and Advisory Services of the Ministry of Agriculture took a breath of fresh air. In what must be described as a social, senior ministry staff, senior and junior extension officers, and data collectors from all 3 agricultural regions on mainland St. Vincent gathered at the Blackpoint Recreational Grounds Thursday, February 24, 2022 to chart the way forward for the provision of services to the farmers of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Master of Ceremonies and Agricultural Officer Noel Samuel advised the gathering to maintain COVID-19 protocols. Present at the head table were Permanent Secretary Nerissa Gittins, Chief Agricultural Officer Renato Gomes, Deputy Chief Agricultural Officer Colville King, and Senior Agricultural Officer Marcus Richards. Permanent Secretary Nerissa Gittins praised the work of the Extension and Advisory Services over the years.
I grew up as the daughter of farmers. I know what it feels like in the field. For every individual hair, what you do makes a difference. What you do fill the whole form, the whole structure, the whole nature of the Ministry of Agriculture in its broad form. I don't know anything about extension. I'm not even going to pretend I know. But I'm here to work with you, to give you my support in every possible way. Remember that what we do counts not just for us, for the people who are looking towards us, and by extension, St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Chief Agricultural Officer Renato Gomes urged that the extension officers and farmers focus more on making money so that farms will truly be more profitable enterprises.
Sometimes we have a group of farmers, they all complain that we're not making any money, but we might put them together and tell them farm business and land together. They come up with the idea. They are not making money, so something they're probably doing wrong, but we put them together. So, and I believe we have to be, a little open-minded. One thing I'm gonna say in life, you have to have multiple sources of income. If you have one source of income, more than likely you're gonna struggle. More than likely you're gonna struggle. So, and they have the saying that working hard, you have to work hard to make money. No, you have to earn most of your money while you're sleeping. It might sound crazy, because money is supposed to be working for you to make money. You're not supposed to be working for money, money is supposed to be working for you. You think Bill Gates and them sitting with a book every day calculating anything? No, Bill Gates' money is working, and he's making more. The biggest owner of farmlands in America now is Bill Gates, because he learned the art of making money, and he's taking it into a different field.
Deputy Chief Agricultural Officer Colville King announced the intention of the Ministry of Agriculture to pursue a commodity approach in the year 2022 going forward.
And I must say that I'm impressed with what I have experienced so far. It speaks to the level of talent and leadership that exists within the extension services. That talent and the resources that exist in extension is being strengthened as we speak, with the addition of the Banana Service Unit and Mr. Koroma Brown, who brings a different experience. And I'm hoping for the very best coming out of extension. A lot of farm families' lives have been displaced. Our job really is to help solve their problems with regards to making money from the lands that they occupy. If we're not in a position to influence, our job out there would be futile. We have to be in a position where we can influence the farmers that we encounter, that we are responsible for. But the commodity approach would be used in 2022. There would be a bit of sensitization, education. There will be a bit of conversation in terms of how it works. but the commodity approach is what we'll be using going forward. So, like I said, my support to you would be 100%, but I want you to work with me really in a very positive way.
Agricultural Officer Catherine Bonadi-John facilitated the question and answer segment, which produced significant participation from the several ranks of the attendees. Agricultural Officer Donowa Jackson presented a review of the guiding principles of extension.
Our brain functions differently under different circumstances. And we have to understand how our brain operates in order for us to be able to transfer information so the farmers could receive them. There's so much thing going on around at the same time. If you're by yourself, you tend to do things in your own way. When you watch Family Feud, it goes to show that when you work in a collective, you're able to solve difficult problems more, right? Than if you do it by yourself.
Senior Agricultural Officer Marcus Richards concluded the agenda by presenting a report of the work of the Extension and Advisory Services of the years 2020 and 2021. The day ended with the attendees renewing their commitments to providing quality service to the farmers of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Essentially, we work with farmers, and in our work and assessment with farmers, we tend to assess the needs of the farmers, and so from assessing those needs, we develop what is called a work plan. Each officer has an annual work plan that will culminate into the regional work plan. Some of the activities that were identified where we need to place emphasis on root crops, and most of the vegetables that are grown in St. Vincent on the leeward side, we gave an emphasis in terms of promoting those crops for higher yields and to provide those activities such as the cultural practices and the new technology that is necessary to improve the farmers' productivity. We have an initiative now that is being driven where we are looking at the reproduction of citrus. We're basically looking at around 100 acres of citrus, and our activity is being supported by the Research and Development Division as well.
What I project to do in 2022 as my work program, we are going to work with 150 homeowners. In that, we get homeowners to set up gardens within their compound, their living compound, and see how best we can offset some of their expenses by growing some of their own fruits and vegetables. We're also going to be working with 6 schools to establish school gardens. We have to remember our farmers feed us. And the way forward is to be in the right perspective to go and face our clientele, which is our farmers.
What I really want to see coming out this year from the farmers is more production, because we had a setback in 2021 with the volcano as well as that hurricane where farmers would have lost a lot. There are also some farmers group who I think they've been displaced even before the volcano. They have not been together. So I want to see them come back together, work together so they can increase production and be able to suffice themselves, their neighborhood, and the country as a whole with food. I want to see young persons, get them involved. So I'm throwing out invitations for young persons to get involved in farming, because the older generation is dying. And as we can see from this COVID-19, we would have lost a number of old farmers. So what I want to see is a lot of young farmers coming on stream and doing what the older farmers were doing. They look at agriculture as a dirty job, but there's an old saying, pride feels no pain. If that's where the money is, that's where we have to go. And look at it as a business, not as a dirty job, but as a business. Because you can build, you can be a billionaire. You can be a billionaire from your own farming. Once you have the resources, you have the inputs, you have the encouragement and the assistance and the help from our division, which is Extension and Advisory Service, I think they would go a long way.
Our farmers are an extremely resilient bunch. the production which has been generated even after the eruption of the Soufriere has been pretty significant. Well, we had excellent work throughout the entire year and throughout all districts. But I must commend greatly the farmers and our extension officers who work assiduously with some of these farmers. And I know that our officers, our extension officers, are in the belly of the farmers, so to speak. They understand their plight, they understand the trauma they would have endured, and they understand what needs to be done in order for them to build back their livelihoods.